Have you ever wondered what the food of Final Fantasy VII could taste like? Today I'm going to try to make a Chocobo Ranch breakfast casserole. Even though the Chocobo Ranch is a very small portion early on in the OG game, by the time you get to the end, once Meteor's been summoned, it plays a large part in getting access to the ultimate summon materia, Knights of the Round. But more on that later. First, let's start this casserole. To start, we need to preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, toss in your sausage or whatever meat you're using. You can use bacon, ham, even ground chicken here, but I'm using hot breakfast sausage. Flatten this down so it forms a crust on the bottom. This will really enhance the flavor. And while this cooks, we need to shred our cheese. You can easily use pre-shredded cheese here, but I prefer to shred my own because it melts so much better and tastes 1,000 times better than pre-shredded cheese. But of course, use whatever you have, it's not a problem. While the meat cooks, let's talk about the history of Bill and his Chocobo farm. Not much is known about Chocobo Bill, but what we do know is that due to an unknown circumstance, Chocobo Bill lost his son and his spouse and began raising his grandchildren Chocobo Billy and Chloe. He opened his farm and began making money with his Chocobos. Together with his grandchildren, the farm is where they raised Chocobos for racing at the Gold Saucer, and for other uses like shuttling people and goods around the area. Alright, let's head back to the kitchen and check on our sausage. We want to get a big bowl and put in our bag of shredded hash browns, 6 servings of egg whites, 3 eggs, a can of cream of chicken soup, 2 cups of sour cream or non-fat Greek yogurt, salt and pepper of course, and then finally add in your meat. Give this a mix and combine everything together. This may seem difficult at first because of the frozen potatoes, but just keep working with it, it'll eventually all come together. Now once that's combined pretty well, you want to add in about half of your cheese, and then continue to fold all that back in together to really mix everything together. Grab your casserole dish and oil it up. Spoon your hash brown breakfast casserole mixture in the casserole dish and flatten it out the best you can, really getting all the air bubbles and seams out of the corners and the edges. It should look about like this. Now throw this in your preheated oven gently and let it cook for about 45 to 50 minutes at 350 degrees. Now, what do you do with all this extra cheese that you have pre-shredded? Well, to keep it from clumping together, you want to put it in an airtight container or Ziploc bag and sprinkle just a touch of cornstarch in it. This will keep the cheese from sticking together and just becoming giant clumps of cheese. And doing this is much better than buying pre-shredded cheese, because pre-shredded cheese has a wax coating on it that really prevents it from melting and kind of leaves a film in your mouth. And just put this in the fridge and let it set till you need to use it. But we'll be using the other half of this later on. Now, back to the Chocobo Ranch. When you first get here, if you greet the Chocobos, you are greeted with a special song and dance from the Chocobos. And you get the Chocomog materia if you watch the whole thing. Later in the game, once Meteor is summoned, you will spend a lot of time here breeding and training Chocobos so that you can reach areas not accessible by airship, like most of the materia caves that are scattered around the map. These are home to special materia. One such materia is the ultimate summon, Knights of the Round. Chloe at the farm will keep notes of what the great Chocobo Sage tells the party as you visit him throughout the game. The Chocobo Sage is a mysterious figure of unknown origin, but shares similarities with Etc. He gives the player information and advice on how to breed special Chocobos, but with his memory often failing him, he can only divulge so much information at a time. Thankfully, Chloe is able to keep track of all this information for us, so we can come back to her anytime we need information that he's told us previously. Alright, now let's go back and check on that casserole. Now that everything is cooked, add the remainder of the cheese on top of the casserole, and then turn your oven to broil and let this cheese melt. And just for a few minutes, don't walk away. If you do, the cheese will completely burn and crisp. We don't want that. We want a little bit of a crisp, but not too much. Pull it out and let it rest until you can't wait any longer. I divided this up myself into 12 servings. For 12 servings, this is about 350 calories with these macros. I'll post it on the screen here. So while the ranch may seem like a small area of importance at first, it actually is extremely important in getting access to one of the most powerful summons in the game. Let me know in the comments if you've ever made a breakfast casserole before, and if so, what has been in yours? Bacon, ham gravy. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat this, breed some chocobos, and go grab that nice dry materia. Thanks for watching. Peace.